Hello, this is Rudy and welcome to our second video in our Creating Digital Portfolios Using Google Slides tutorial series. This video you will be learning how to create a color palette, and if I am moving too fast or too slow for you, feel free to pause the video, fast forward or rewind and move at your own pace so long as you are able to complete what we need to complete by the end of this video. Now let's just jump right in. The first thing we need to do is go ahead and open up a browser. So whatever browser you like to use for the internet, go ahead and open that up. I use Google Chrome, so I'm going to start with a new Chrome window. Now, we need to open up 4 new tabs. Okay, so follow along with me. Now, before you do any of this, make sure you are logged in and that you are able to access your account. First thing is we're going to go to Google Drive by typing in drive.google.com. And when you hit enter, it'll take you to Google Drive. And once you are here, I want you to go ahead and hit New, Google Slides, and open up a brand new Google Slide. Now, when you open up this Google Slide, a few things will happen. You will get a brand new blank slide with a text box for a title and a text box for a subtitle. You will also have a Themes tab that opens up on the right. So I want you to close Themes. And we're going to empty this slide by clicking Layout and Blank. Once you have a blank slide, you are going to click where it says Untitled Presentation and go ahead and title it Digital Portfolio _ and then your first name and your last name. Once you've done that, go ahead and hit Enter. That'll save your project name, and if you notice, it'll also change the name up in the tab. That's how you know it's saved. And this will also say that all your changes have been saved. So you're ready to move on to the next step. Once you have this, I want you to open up a brand new tab and you are going to go to the following website, coolors.co. That is coolors.co. Once you are on this website, I want you to click on Start the Generator. It's free. And if you have guessed by now, Coolors is actually a color generator. So it'll allow you to create really cool color schemes. Most of the times the color schemes that Coolors will give you always work. So have fun with it, okay? Finally, the last thing we're going to do is we are going to create a new tab. And in this tab, we are going to type in images.google.com. This will bring you to Google Image Search. That should be the first part of getting started here. So remember, 4 tabs. A Google Drive tab where you will create a new slide. A second tab with a blank Google slide that has the title Digital Portfolio _ your first name and your last name. Then you will open up a third tab, which you will go to the website coolors.co. Once you are there, you are going to click on the Start the Generator, it's free button. And finally, you will click on a new tab and go to images.google.com and open up a Google Image Search window. In order for us to use Coolors to the best of our ability, we are going to teach you how to use an image from Google Search to pull a color palette, okay? So what you're going to do is you will go to Coolors. Go ahead and click on the little camera icon, and what this does is Coolors is going to ask you for an image address. Once you put an image address in, Coolors will look at the image, pull out any colors it thinks would make a good palette, and give you an automatic palette. So once you've clicked on that camera, we are going to leave it with this little pop-up. Go back to Google Images, and let's search for an image. So if you have teams or logos or businesses whose colors you admire, you can always search for them. And the point is you want to find an image that has colors that you like. For example, I love using images that have to do with sunsets. Every time I look at sunset images, it reminds me of relaxation. And it reminds me of just being on vacation and having a nice time. So when I click on or when I type in sunsets and I look for image results, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on the images and scroll through them until I find one that I really like. Okay, make sure that the images that you choose have a variation of colors in it. So for example, in my case, I'm going to go with this one. The reason I'm going with this one is because there's a few colors in here that I like, and I want to create a palette and see what it looks like. So once you have done this and you've found your picture, I want you to right click on that image and click where it says copy image address. Please make sure you are clicking where it says copy image address and not copy image. If you click on copy image, this will not work. So right click on the image and click on copy image address. Once you've copied the address, I want you to go over to Coolers and you are going to paste it into this little pop-up and hit OK. Now what Coolers will do, like I said before, is that it'll take the image and make a color palette from it. And honestly, this color palette is awesome. It is beautiful. It has light colors, it also has dark colors, and it also has a variation of colors, okay? So it has some warm colors and some cool colors. Once you are done, let's say if there's colors here that you want to change that you don't like, you can actually click on the color and the circle up here where that color comes from will appear. You can also go ahead and move that around to change and edit your colors. I really like the one that was chosen, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. Once you are satisfied with your 5 colors, you will hit OK. And this will open up an entire palette for you using Coolers. Now that you have your palette, I want you to go back to your image search and we are going to drag this image. So you're going to click and drag the image so that it is above your digital portfolio slide tab, right? So you're going to make sure that it goes right above it. Remember, don't let go, otherwise it will not work. You're going to slide the image right above it. Once your window changes, you can go ahead and drop your image into your slide. And then using the corner boxes of the image, I want you to resize it so that it fits in your slide. Go ahead and put it dead center, right in the center of your slide. If you notice, I'm just moving my picture around until that red line shows up. Once it's aligned this way, I'm just going to move it around until I get a red cross on my slide that'll show me that this is right in the center. Once I have that, now I want to link this picture to my color palette. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go over to your color palette again. And when you create a color palette on Coolers, each color palette will get a special address, so you can always come back to it. So go ahead and highlight the URL or the address for that palette. You are going to copy it, go over to your slide, you're going to click on the image, and then click on this little button here called the Insert Link button. The Insert Link button also has a shortcut, Control K or Command K. So go ahead, click on your image, click on the link button, and if you notice, a little pop-up will show here asking you to paste an address. So what you're going to do is you are going to go ahead and paste the address for your palette and hit apply. Once you've applied it, this image is now and will always be linked to this color palette. So anyone who clicks will be able to see the original palette you are working with. And in this palette, you have the secret codes or the hexadecimal codes for each color, so you can use them over and over in your presentation in whichever way you like. Now that you've created a palette on Coolers from an image on Google Images and added that image to your Google slide and then linked it to your palette, you are now ready to begin creating a typeface palette and combining your colors to find combinations that you feel work best. You will, in our next video, you will learn how to create a type and font palette and combine your colors so that you are happy with your combinations. Now that you've selected your image and you've linked your image over to a color palette, let's learn how to bring that color palette over to Google Slides, okay? So the first thing I'm going to want you to do is take your image and go ahead and move it out to the corner. Don't move it out all the way to the edge, so make sure you leave some space between the edge of the slide and the image itself. Now what I want you to do is click on your image, open up your palette, and we are going to get an image of this palette, okay? The way you do that is you can click on this button here that says export. You are going to export, and export means to take out of Coolers to put somewhere else. Now what we want is a PNG. A PNG is nothing more than an image file, okay? So you're going to click on PNG, and what's going to happen, a new tab is going to open up with a picture of your color palette. Now, just like Google Images, I want you to click on the picture. You are going to drag it until it is above your Google Slides page. You are going to move it into your slide and let go. Once you let go, I want you to resize your palette. Move it into your slide. Right, and put it next to your image. Okay? Now, if you notice, I'm using the little red lines up top to guide me and to make sure that the images are aligned. And then I'm going to resize this palette using my corner buttons. Right? And I'm going to resize it so that it is about the same size as my image. All right? Now, if I keep resizing here, it's going to come out of the slide. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this one a little smaller. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this over and make this a little smaller so that it is aligned with my actual picture. Okay? Then what I want you to do is we're also going to link this palette here. So if you remember, the way we do that is we go to our palette, make sure it's the same one, okay? Once you go to your palette, you are going to copy the address by highlighting and copying, and then going back over to your Google slide, clicking on the image you want to link, and then clicking on the little link button, or using the shortcut, which is Command K. This will open up a link pop-up. I want you to paste the address, and now you have your color palette and the image where you pulled that palette from on the same page. Now that you've done this, you are ready to move on and create some awesome things using your newly selected colors.